Hey guys, welcome to another Battleblood commentary. This game is not going to be perfect catch, but we have some interns here. We do have Sabrina Frostshard and Cassandra Hexthorn filling in for spots. I think at this time, both Fallon and Ronan had to go, or it was pretty late for them, and only Cass and I were available, and the other two, well, we just invited the other two to, hey, come PvP with us. And they haven't done too much teams. Well, they haven't done it on the same scale as we have, and they certainly aren't at Warlord level play yet. But we're gonna try what we can and just get them into the loop of that. So here we go. So we're fighting. We're up against Monica Shadowhunter. As you can see, I think Allan Hexbreaker, Bradley Gold, and William Dragonblood. And as you can see, they are playing extremely defensively well. They know how to play from second. As you can see, Knights through Captain. Um, and they've already got their defenses up. They're not worried about blading right now. Someone already cloaked their two shields on I think Monica right there. So that's an interesting play. And they did play a weakness on top of our Pyro on Hexthorn. So went ahead and cleansed that off. Basically, for we played this match with these two to show, okay, let's say that you don't have teammates that you're totally comfortable with. How do you play with them, and what are some steps that you can take to start playing like warlords? Well, main strategy here is go ahead and put as many shields on top of the life player, but adding in another concept, place some shields also on your lowest life player. So that would be the Pyro that would be our Pyro Hexthorn, and Cassandra Dragonheart being our life player. Really nice initiate stun coming from, I think, the Myth player who is forgot, he's in the yellow. He's in third slot. And wow, here, this is the first Nova we've seen coming from an enemy in such a long time. So you can already tell that these guys know what they're doing. We're gonna have a fun match. They do have let's see, an ice balance myth death, so it's a mixed team as well, not stacked. This time we do have stacked, but we aren't using blades, and we're not bombarding them with ice after ice spell. So they're doing a really nice job in putting out all that damage. First the stun to stop us from, to basically give them a view, give them some breathing room to find out, okay, what kind of shields do these guys have? Can we knock these guys out? And unfortunately, we have elemental shields, so the ice player doesn't hit yet. She's shielding up herself even more, and got a blade up, while the other three, balance, death, and myth, are hitting. So they do take out Hexthorn at this point. No shields against spirituals, and they take a big chunk. I mean, I'm already down to 2/3 of my life right there, and Cassandra's down to 900, so they're doing a really nice job in containing us. Luckily there were ice shields up, otherwise if the ice did have some open room, if Monica had some open room to hit us, we might have even lost Cass, assuming that she would play she had a critical and whatnot, so luckily those shields are there. Meanwhile, we're going to have SorceressMiklai, who's also hello, Sabrina Frostshard on her ice. Gonna go ahead and have her stun them and give us some breathing room now. And that death right there, he's able to act at all times, or at least for a few extra rounds, because of that stun shield. So well placed by him, but we figured he's out of pip, so it's okay. Stun the other three who don't have any stun protection, and we'll go ahead and take care of these guys later. I play the Empowerment Bubble knowing that they like to play a lot of AoE spells, so that's a lot of rank 7 coming in. Well, Death player is going to build up pips by blading. Normally, I think if you're playing Death in a team game, be sure to have enough empowers on hand. Just seeing a Death with pips, just know that's a sign he can heal, he can hit, he can beguile, or he or she. And so a Death with any amount of pips is definitely a force to be reckoned with. They can put up doom and gloom for all you know, after hurting your team pretty heavily. Doom and Gloom would have definitely would have stopped us a bit here, trying to replace that bubble before we heal, or heal and then take a massive earthquake to the face like that. So he's gonna critical. Let's see if we block it. We do block it. I think we all block it. But so as you can see, someone did place a weakness on that same turn that the earthquake came out. So another thing that you have to consider when playing in a team is look at everyone's cards and figure out, am I using this at the right time? Did I make this person's card somewhat useless, you know? Or at least, well, not useless. I mean, the weakness was helpful in making sure I would not hit as hard, but it became voided because of, you know, miscommunication on the other side. That earthquake came out way too early. Possibly. Maybe he was actually prepping up to remove stun shields for that ice player to hit. So, I mean, that combo is also reasonable, but someone had to play a weakness, whereas they could have played the shield, for all we know, to protect their teammates even more. You know, one turn or one card can actually play a big difference. So meanwhile, I am full on pips right now, and we know we can stop that ice from stunning us with that melt. Luckily, she's in the first spot, so she can only cleanse herself ahead of time, but no one else will be able to. So we're going to go ahead and play that melt from Hexthorn right there, stopping the ice player's stun, protecting our absorb, or at least Cass's or Hexthorn's absorb shields. There's only one with it now. I'm going to go ahead and play a single heal through that infection, give her some health points back. It's not going to be much, but it's better than if the rest started playing AoEs, such as Sandstorm, Frog, to try to knock out Hexthorn. So, anyways, got my Snow Angel here, Gargantuan. Basically, this team is low on recoveries, so I'm a little bit more offensive in this match. Normally, I don't throw all pips like that unless I know my teammates are going to be okay. So knowing that, hey, well, you know what, to really put pressure on this team that seems to be attacking a lot and not, I mean, they're really good with defenses. We need to start creating a counterforce to how they play, give them, or make them feel pressured about not having full health. So went ahead and attacked, and because their recovery rate is low, I mean, they have helping hands and they have sacrifice to help their teammates and any life spells that they happen to have, but that's pretty much it. They don't have an AoE heal as we do, so they have less flexibility. So meanwhile, he's going to go ahead and pop another stun. The ice is not playing. I think they've let's see if they've learned from that melt. They probably were expecting a melt of some sort, because this ice player, I mean, if she did play a frost giant, oh, she did play a snow angel, it looks like. So she missed out on that, and that myth was going to go ahead and stun us to give the effect of a bladed, perhaps gargantuan snow angel mixed with a stun shield. That's going to take out. That's going to be dangerous to Hexthorn, that's for sure, taking extra damage. So they're doing really well in keeping our lowest health player down, because she is probably our hardest hitter as well. So they're just doing a really great job at this point, taking advantage of the stun, try to put as much damage into us as possible with that blizzard. Gonna give me more pips after that, so I know I'm ready for any emergency heals that we may need to toss out, or attacks that we need to push them down with. Meanwhile, Balance is going to throw out that Sandstorm, so more AoE. That's going to give me even more pips, but as you can see, Hexthorn's health, it's dropping pretty low. So is our life player. She's down to nearly half health. Sabrina and I are going to be okay. We have some sprightly sparking off for us right now. So another reason to have these pets in the team games is because area of effects trigger much more often, because triggers are actually based on how, events in the game for sprightly. So if you get hit by 3 Hydra heads, there's a chance to get 3 sprightlies. If you get hit by an area attack, that's a chance to get 4 sprightlies in just that turn itself. But those chances are pretty low in getting that many at a time. The most I've seen is like 3 sprightlies in a row so far. I'm pretty sure there are some with 4, perhaps 5, Actually, no, not 5 in a single round or so. So one hit per person, so one sprightly per person hit. So anyways, Sabrina's going to go ahead and attack, add on even more pressure, keep those ice shields off of them. Because if they are aiming to attack our lowest life player, or lowest health player, then we're going to go ahead and take advantage of their low recovery rate and basically pump as much damage into them before they know what's going on, that they need to heal and whatnot. Meanwhile, this death player I'm starting to like a lot because he's playing a lot of these great defensive spells. He's got Empower up, so like I said earlier, a death player with pips is just dangerous. I mean, he can lifesteal at any point. He can sacrifice his teammates. Just there are a lot of options here. And so to make sure that Hexthorn does not go down, we're gonna try to stun, or she does stun with the choke to make sure that death player who was then open to stuns, make sure he cannot lifesteal and kill her this round. Gonna let let Dragonheart build up her pips, so she played the conviction, make sure that they can't get any criticals off, because she's going to have to heal pretty soon. So 2 ice ticks on each of these players, and they're going down fast. You can see that especially the balance player and the myth player already down into the red zone, about half health. Ice player playing a really nice ice shield to try to save her teammate a little bit of extra damage. He plays an affection which automatically gets removed. So like I said, Sprightly is affected by events in the game, so DOT, or damage over time, is also an event. Every tick that pops up is a potential for a Sprightly pet to go off. So if someone has 2 ticks, anyone with a Sprightly pet has a potential of getting 2 Sprightlies as an interrupt during that interrupt round. So now they're so that's why you may see a lot of Sprightlies when you see damage over time, and I think KingsIsle did a really nice balancing job on that, even though they can sort of tweak the numbers a bit and try to ensure that at least each side has an even amount of Sprightlies popping out. You don't want one side getting all the Sprightlies in one game, which we've seen a lot, which we've seen pretty often. And I'm asking, okay, let's amp up our attacks even more. Gonna have Sabrina either play a blade or a bubble. She has a bubble, gonna put that up. It's okay, the other side is probably not worried about hitting right now. She has to worry about healing, because again, their teammates have low recovery rates, and we're gonna try to knock down as many people as we can. So I've got a blizzard in hand. Hopefully I don't fizzle here. Dragonheart's going to make sure Hexthorn can stay up for another match, and I'm gonna hit here and try to use my pips, and hopefully find another blizzard, in the next draw phase. So just try to do my best to knock down. I know that Dee's Snow Angel was weakened by 30% just now, so those are her ticks that are left on them. So we're just doing our best to take out these guys before they start hitting us with hard shields. Meanwhile, Ice player doing a beautiful job blocking off yet another tick that might have taken her balance player out. He criticals and we don't block, so he gets through those absorbs. Dragonheart blocks the conviction, but I don't block myself. Meanwhile, Sprightly is going to go off here. So again, potential for either of us to get 4, or potential for the other team to get 4 at any point. So here we go. Here's a second one for 2 players hit. And right now I'm typing. I'm not going to write it out in the open, but writing Sprightly Shuriken, because there's a little inside joke. There was one match where, and I think this was actually on the videos that I've uploaded, but Hexthorn got about a full ring of Sprightlies, so that's where that name originates from. Meanwhile, the death player having 1 blade, man, with pips, he's able to knock out Hexthorn once again, so we're down to 3 on 4. But Allan is so close to death. We're relying on that last Snow Angel tick to take him out. Cassandra's going to shield up, and I think she's going to empower soon. Let's see. No, she's going to go ahead and knock out some other player. We're going to let some of the ticks take care of them. And I think we should have had the elf played on the balance player, but we didn't want that myth player actually taking out our stun shields. So go ahead, put an extra damage into him, doubting that the other team is going to heal him, knowing that Allan has the lowest health and whatnot, and he has pips. But a direct hit right there. So Ice player playing a shield right there, doing a nice job protecting that myth player from death. So that's 3 great plays that she's had so far. 3 rounds where she's shielded and is able to allow her teammates to hit. So I really like the way that Ice plays. Very beautiful job. Myth player does manage to get our stun shields off. Let's see what this death plays. If he manages to play some kind of stun card on his end, that would help his team a lot. Especially this is the last tick of Snow Angel. No, he's going to go ahead and amp up his defense. Make sure he has an extra 20% resistance to all other spells. So, but now it's 3 on 3 in a way. But we do have some extra heals here. Let's see what they're going to do. We know Monica has a potential to throw a satyr. William has a potential to sacrifice or throw a satyr as well. So they can probably bring out those 2 players. So we're going to try to affect their heals. Infection going on top of the death player. And I'm going to go ahead and try to knock out and push down these players even more. I'm not going to play my sprite just yet, because the ice may have potential to hit, or that death may potentially scarecrow and take out Hexthorn again. So here we go. A bubbled blizzard gonna take out that myth player, and ice player may try to hit us or shield. And ooh, William had some kind of heal card. I think it was a satyr, but he fizzled, unfortunately. He was aiming it at the first player, I believe, so trying to keep Monica in the game. Highest resistance, she's going to benefit the most from the heal. So good team play. Meanwhile, we're just going to stop their heals altogether, and or at least stop any kind of life spells at least. But let's see of the other side. I would say if I were in their shoes right now, the ice player would just toss all shield over to the death player, and make sure that he needs to find his sacrifices. He does have highest resistance with that 20% reduction right now, and Monica's only down to 800 life. But looking at our side, we're low on pips. We're fairly relative low on pips. So he's doing our best to suppress as many heals as possible. And having D hold on to her pips, making sure that she will strike only after these guys heal their teammates. Seeing while Ice player is going to blade up. Death player getting rid of the heal. I have another entangle in hand, going to make sure he cannot bring his teammates back too quickly. I mean, he does have sacrifice, and he can play a bunch of them, as you can see. He can play about 3. And then maybe 2. Maybe he can play like 5 sacrifices in a row, assuming he gets about a power pip every turn. So anyway, she's going to hit with that bladed frost giant with the ice bubble up, so that may hurt Cass a lot. Oh wow, that hurt D for about 1,000. Yeah, this is gonna. Probably a gargantuan stuck in that frost giant too, so that's gonna stun me. Good eyes on her, but I think I used up my pips. Yeah, I used up some of them. Sabrina doing a nice job with that conviction up whenever she played it, and he's gonna go ahead and assume that we're gonna hit of some sort, or we're gonna heal our teammate. So he's gonna go ahead and lifesteal as much as he can, try to stay in the game, use those pips as best as possible. He's lost his resistance at this point, so he's going to go ahead and recover from it. So yeah, Sabrina's down to 700 health, so taking a lot of hits over time, but hanging in there really. Let's see what she has in her hand. That death player could play a wraith on someone, but Cass getting ready. Yeah, they can potentially knock out Sabrina if his wraith is powerful enough, like a feint being placed on top of her and then a life steal. But no, so we're gonna go ahead and play an early rebirth, try to get Cass back or get Hexthorn back in the game. So he's trying his best to get through those. Ice player's doing her best, and I guess Bradley here decided to give up, feeling that this is a lost cause to be played. Sabrina does have that blade, she does have that bubble. Hexthorn is going to play that smoke screen to make sure they can't combo, or that the death player can't excuse me, the death player can't lifesteal, assuming that that ice player plays a feint on top of Hexthorn, and you know that scarecrow would definitely take her out once again and give this death player all his life back after that gargantuan bladed ice bubble snow angel. So hoping that he doesn't lifesteal with that smoke screen. Gonna go ahead and put up this bubble again, build up my pips without using empower too much, and he fizzles, so he's gonna take some extra damage for sure. He can heal as well. He can throw a satyr to someone, maybe to Monica, who may go down this next turn. So Dragonheart gonna go ahead and try to suppress any kind of heal. He can play a sacrifice still, which will help get rid of that infection and allow himself to recover. But he can also hit as well to recover his own health, and then perhaps Sprightly will remove that entangle, perhaps another Sprightly will remove the infection, and he can sacrifice someone else next. So she does go down, huge hits. He's going to go ahead and Wraith into, yes, into Hexthorn, who has no death resist, unfortunately. So that tower shield definitely helped out. It's going to suppress his heal. Much better if he used a sacrifice, I think. Would have gained him a few extra hit points. He can still hit again with another Wraith, but we're going to go ahead and hit and try to end this game. So, you know, if you're just starting on PvP, hopefully you're able to follow through all of these and, you know, understand that, yeah, even though you're not familiar with the environment, you can still play a lot of great plays under some great direction, I guess, or just by watching and learning through that. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this match. GG, and I'll see you in the spiral.